I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Hamina. America now has a scary Johnson. The new Speaker of the House is the least experienced speaker in history.
Get it over with. Just get it over with. I can't do it. Yes, you can.
He's only been in Congress since 2017. A Johnson that, according to everybody, is so extreme he won't even make a left when he's driving.
It's a problem I had since I was a baby. I can't turn left.
Who is this new Speaker of the House? Well, Mike Johnson is an extreme Christian nationalist, and MAGA Republican who will now yield an insane amount of power. In fact, Mike Johnson is the guy who came up with these shaky-ass legal basis to try to overthrow the 2020 election.
When you have, a software system that is used all around the country that is suspect because it came from Hugo Chavez's Venezuela.
Yeah, he's that guy. He still thinks the election was stolen. Today, now. But hey, you know what? We're used to crazy and stupid in the Republican Party. I mean, come on, this last decade. I mean, this guy. Oh, and this guy. This is a partial list of crazy and stupid. Okay, stop.
Here's where it gets even better.
When people who know say that Mike Johnson is to the far right of Jim Jordan, we here at the Armageddon Update knew we had to do a deep dive into this dangerous, drippy Johnson. He's a hardcore Christian. When asked what he wanted people to know about him, he said, read the Bible. That's all you need to know about me.
I am a Bible-believing Christian. Go pick up a Bible off your shelf and read it. That's my worldview.
So I guess he's going to bring plagues, turn rivers to blood, and smite people who don't believe in him. Maybe kill people's firstborn sons, like in the Bible. Except unlike God, Mike is extremely anti-abortion. He has said women would have these babies. If they would just have the babies, we would have enough workers. He actually said,
Roe v. Wade gave constitutional cover to the elective killing of unborn children in America. We're all struggling here to cover the bases of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and all the rest. If we had all those able-bodied workers in the economy, we wouldn't be going upside down and toppling over like this. Listen,
the gentleman,
I will not yield. I will not.
So it's the babies. Babies not working is the reason we need to cut health care? Yeah, we need to get those infants back into the steel mills, and America will be great again.
All right, that's lunch, bitches. My mom's making mac and cheese.
Johnson warned that the legalizing of gay marriage would open the doors for people, he said this, to marry their pets, paving the way for, quote, chaos and sexual anarchy, which is my favorite band. His quote is, if we change marriage for this tiny modern minority, we will have to do it for every deviant group, Johnson wrote. Polygamists, polyamorists, pedophiles, and others will be next in line to claim equal protection. And they already are. There will be no legal basis to deny a bisexual the right to marry a partner of each sex or a person to marry his pet. But if he did this, then Trump could marry Ivanka like he wanted.
And if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
He's actually always been very voluptuous.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
This is proof, by the way, that Mike has never met any LGBTQEIEIO person or my dog Groucho, who I would marry in a second. He's awesome. Come on. Mike believes people will marry their dogs and goldfish. This is the guy in charge of one of our three branches of government. Second in line for the president after the vice president. He's a religious zealot who believes the Bible should be taught in schools like a textbook. Of course, if they ever put the Bible in schools, the Republicans have to cut out the part about slavery in Egypt because you can't teach critical Jewish race theory. Why? Why, Republicans? Why elect this guy? He's every extreme psychotic view the MAGA right has. Why? Because unlike this guy and this guy, he's calm. He seems nice, professional, and under control. Mike Johnson is a calm face on a psycho. Like Ted Bundy. Good luck, America. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Holy crap, man. So because the guy can form a sentence and he's not screaming out his ass like Jim Jordan, we're like, that guy, he forms words. Oh, sure, he says the craziest shit we've ever heard. But you know what? He does it with a smile, with a tomboy demeanor. I can't handle it.
He's in a story writing.
Are we rolling?
Here.
Are we rolling? All right. Well, we almost lost a dog today, and all hell has broken loose here at the Titus Podcast. We're getting back to normal right now. With me, as always, the Lovey Bomb Show, Ray.
What's up, people?
She's super panicked, and the Highlander.
There could be only one.
Trying to give her excuses so she doesn't get mad at me. It was really nice of you. Very nice. Very nice. Sometimes that door blows open. You mean the one with the bolt and the two locks? Yeah. Sometime that one just kind of bumps open on accident.
And he's getting older and he's going deaf. It's not that he wasn't answering you.
That was just so much
screaming.
I was like, oh, that's a bro.
Meanwhile, I'm in pedicure flip-flops holding on to one dog. I'm out in the middle of Crack Central, in the middle of the street, stopping cars, screaming at everyone.
Because you think the other dog got out.
Is outside. Oh,
so what happened was I went to unlock the door for Ray because she refuses to carry her key that Highlander made for her.
I like that he's now trying to make it my fault.
So I unlocked.
He never accepts any fault.
No,
it's my fault.
No, totally my fault.
And it's like a $50 key, and it's gold. And it's
I had him in. I had them both in. So I unlocked the door and I turned around and Groucho must have got out. So when Ray got here, he was in the parking lot. But she thinks my husband's a moron. The other dog is also loose.
No, they're just always together.
Yeah, no, Chaplin was like, screw him, let him die. I don't care. Chaplin gets, I get all the food then. All right, guys. Hi, welcome to the Titus Podcast. Sorry for the preamble. Mike Johnson, we are talking about, it's weird because when I saw the guy and I heard him talk first, I thought, oh, it's not a screamer like Jim Jordan. He's not a psycho. Like, he's not a weasel like Kevin McCarthy. He's not just a crazy. Turns out he's worse.
He's an actual psycho.
He's a psycho who just basically, if you look at this guy, he's in a covenant marriage, which is okay, fine.
Oh, what? What is
covenant marriage? It means that
He's married to a nun?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, that's a convent
He said
marriage.
something about his wife, and all the newscasters chuckled. He said, why wasn't your wife here at you being sworn in as speaker? Which is kind of weird. Like, if I got a big job like that, or Ray did, I'd be like, we're there, right?
Yeah.
So she wasn't there. He goes, she's been praying for this for a long time. She's been on her knees for weeks. So she's been on her knees for weeks. So she's probably wore out.
What?
That's
covenant marriage is a legally distinct kind of marriage in 3 states: Arizona, Arkansas, and Louisiana, in which the marrying spouses agree to obtain premarital counseling and accept more limited grounds for later seeking the divorce.
She was scrambling to take his website down. Did you hear about this?
Yes.
He had a website with had old podcasts on it where he was going into detail about talking about gays
are criminals.
Right?
They need to be. We need to criminalize. We need to criminalize gay sex.
Right.
We need to. What else? Abortion needs to be illegal in every state, and so they were taking down all his websites and stuff.
His wife was?
So I guess
it had a countdown date for the rapture.
What it was really?
No,
because that'd be like because I totally believable.
You were
100%. Wasn't even questioning it. Like I was gonna go. What date was it? That's what I was gonna. Because I love when someone actually. This has happened over and over where an evangelist has actually said the rapture's gonna happen on the 10th, and I always go, okay. Remember when that happened? Was it Oral Roberts?
It's never worked so far.
Yeah, no one's ever called it.
Plus, the weirdest thing about it is if you read the Bible, the book that you purport to stand on,
right,
then you would know that no human would know the time or place.
Right.
So just you doing that in and of itself is a little
anti-Bible.
That's a little suspect right there.
It's a little ambivalent.
He said he was talking about he said if you want to know about me, read the Bible. And so in the Armageddon that I was talking about so he's going to bring plagues and turn rivers to blood.
He could have said if you read
or as they call it, deregulation.
He could have said read Handmaid's Tale. Or
exactly.
Read The Shining. Or
remember who George Orwell was? Read that.
If you want to know about me, read Pet Sematary. No, I don't. No, I'm just naming.
But he's extreme. They said he's to the right of Jim Jordan. He just doesn't scream.
There's a right of Jim Jordan.
That's what they said.
That is,
and the thing. Everybody who's talking about this guy, the more you delve into what he does, he was the guy who came up with the idea to actually get the false slate of electors to pick the states that could pick.
Yes, they call him the original architect
of the coup on January 6th. No, wow. The apocalypse.
Well, of the legal paperwork that Donald Trump used to take it to court.
So he's the one who said that we can get fake electors. The states can vote their own electors, and then we can actually take over the election.
I'm actually surprised that this was their 4th round pick and not their first one.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
wouldn't
How come
this be?
this guy's a first round
Yeah,
round draft
he's
pick.
one of their MVPs.
He's why? Maybe they're holding it off.
Okay.
But he's so calm and he talks very normal, and he's
he's so right. He's in the multiverse. How is there another right from Jim Jordan?
He's right of Thanos. he's got a big hand with a ring wrong with it. These are the stones.
But he says it real calm.
By the way, these
I
are
don't
the
know
stones.
what any of this means.
My wife got me these. It doesn't. You're not supposed to. It'd be weird if you did.
Oh, okay.
It's boy.
It's after
superhero
2000.
stuff.
Yeah, it's after 2006. You would know about Marvel movies, superhero movies.
Like what?
Do you remember the ones with the event? What was the last one? When they all got together, the event. What was the last one? The big Thanos one.
Endgame. I think it was Endgame.
Remember at the end they had the big Avengers and they had the big fight. It was all the superheroes, and then you had the big guy, the big. He actually looks like
The Rock guy that looks like a rock.
He does look like the Rock.
No,
but
he had a big glove with these giant rings on it, with these giant like stones on it.
I know Iron Man. Was that Marvel?
He was in it.
We know Iron Man.
He was in there.
Okay. The Avengers was the one where a whole bunch of them were all in the same. They were fighting together, right?
That's it.
Okay.
This is going to be the longest conversation.
I'm not into that. I love Deadpool. Does that count? Deadpool's my favorite.
Deadpool's like funny Clint Eastwood, really.
That's a movie I've seen. That's a movie that I love. Deadpool 2, I would watch over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited about the new one. And I'm also super stoked about the Joker with Lady Gaga, but that might be a completely different genre. I'm not sure. Is it?
You should know. No, that's
still
the same. That's just that's DC.
Okay.
So it's the same genre.
Okay. What's
but
DC?
It's a different comic book company.
Okay.
They were the first one.
Okay.
And then Marvel came out, and they were another comic
So
book.
that's like a West Side Story showdown.
And
They have a
copy each other.
They do have a tendency. DC does have a tendency to be a little more gritty.
Okay. Who's in DC? Give me some.
Less cartoony.
Shiny,
yeah.
Can I have some DC examples?
Well, say
Deadpool?
Batman.
Deadpool is Marvel.
DC
Oh,
is Batman.
it is?
DC is Batman. Superman.
Superman is DC.
Wonder Woman.
Okay. And then Marvel is Deadpool, Iron Man.
Thor.
So Marvel's better.
Yeah. Captain America.
Oh my God. Okay, guys, please do not. She just said Marvel is better. Please don't write in. We don't care.
I don't think anybody writes
You've made
anymore.
a judgment. You've made a judgment on superhero companies based on very limited knowledge, and I do not believe that you're correct.
Well, you just listed the ones.
No. There's many more. I will say this show on Marvel does have the guy with the bow and arrow, which that was obviously late Friday. They were like, we got to get one more superhero done. Let's go ahead.
Joker is DC.
Joker is DC because he's a Batman villain.
You're right. I can't write. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Deadpool and Joker, so they are
opposing forces.
Oh.
Yes.
Marvel does have better names than DC. The DC hero names,
I'll give you that,
are not great.
Was DC Green Lantern?
Is that
because that's
DC?
I said that in
the one that Ryan Reynolds
effects.
makes fun of all the time.
No, I think that's Marvel. I want to say
So
that's Marvel.
Yeah, so that was his first superhero movie, and it was a horrible failure.
Yeah.
To the point where he blew Green Lantern's brains out in Deadpool 1.
Green Lantern is DC.
Oh, it is DC.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
You were wrong.
Nobody cares about Green Lantern. That's why nobody is. Who cares? Green Lantern, light bulb.
Yeah, but
nobody gives a shit.
You know what it is? Origin story is not. You can't like Superman's origin story.
You guys are Dennis. You don't even mean to, but you've now settled into this conversation.
This nerd
say
pod.
it like the origin story. Say it like Dennis.
Hey, welcome to Nerd Pod. I am Dennis. This is the Highlander, and this is a girl who doesn't know anything about superhero movies.
Doesn't know about the MCU or DC.
Yeah, MCU.
Doesn't even know.
She's like, which name is this? Which name is that? So funny, she doesn't know. How do you get to decide for not knowing between Marvel and DC? Wow.
I've had sex before.
What? Shit. What
Stop talking.
You want
That's
to
exactly
know more?
what they do.
Joaquin Phoenix playing The Joker, one of the most brilliant movies of all time.
Oh yeah, it's great. He's great.
I mean, I've watched that. Oh, I know I say I don't like movies. That movie will make you like movies. The scene where he's coming down the steps, like all of it. He is such a brilliant
You
actor.
just saw the trailer. You didn't even see
I
it.
saw the whole thing, but that where that was the moment his metamorphosis when he'd got.
That was his fuck it moment.
That
Definitely.
was his coming out.
Yeah, but he knew that he knew what he was gonna do to Robert De Niro. And I also love the scene when the other guy came. The guy used to bully him at the clown came to his apartment with the little guy, and he just. Holy shit.
When the little guy can't reach
the handle.
door. Oh, we don't want to ruin it for you. But how insane that Lady Gaga is going to be in the next one.
If you haven't seen it, we're spoiling it. That's a spoiler alert. You have a bug flying around.
Yeah, there's a fly.
That's Ant-Man.
Oh.
He's a Marvel.
Okay. That's Paul Rudd.
Oh, no, that's Wasp, whatever.
You guys don't know either. Let's get back to politics.
I don't know as much as him. Okay, just before we get out of this, he actually did a costume for Wyatt.
I was going to ask
that
about
is
that.
the most. Put
Yesterday?
a picture of it. By the way, guys, look, it's right here. It's right here. Look at that. Look at how amazing that is. It is perfect Iron Man. Perfect.
Oh, you did Iron Man.
Perfect.
Does it light up?
Oh, it flies.
He used those stick on. You know those stick on lights that
bike lights.
Yeah, bike lights.
It looks legit. It's an arc reactor
That's
in his chest.
So cool. So did Wyatt go trick-or-treating with friends or did he go with you?
This is a point of contention. He wanted to go alone for the first year with his friends, and we were going to let him. We were getting him suited up. He has a little like tracker watch.
Yeah.
Because, we're still...
I'd be terrified even with that, yeah.
And one of the other dads wasn't going to let one of the other son.
Right.
So we're like, all right, well, we'll just tag along.
Oh, it's not our fault. It's that dad's fault.
If he's going to be there, we'll be there.
Boy, this guy's all anal retentive about his kids. We'd much rather let our 13-year-old roam Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine. But this guy's all got his panties in a wad.
Knocking on strangers' doors. I'm
In
sure
Los
that's
Angeles.
also fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically.
So the parents hung behind the kids.
Yeah, we just got home back. But we go to
Halloween is now basically trafficker night. It's
Yeah.
trafficker's favorite night.
And accept candy from a stranger, which is what we were always told not to do.
Yeah, remember those days when it was like, this is probably, you don't remember these days, but like the razor in the Snickers bar.
Never happened.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
It never
it's all
happened.
I heard
Never happened.
about that.
It's never
Actual
happened.
hoax.
So here's what happened: is
I don't
parents.
think I ever trick or treated.
Someone came up with this to scare the shit out of kids, to be cautious. But I remember hearing it as a kid. There was one Halloween I remember being maybe 8, 9, thinking that everybody was going to give me a razor blade.
Somebody who probably had like a diabetes was trying to, cut the...
I don't think I ever went trick or treating.
What?
Ever?
Mm-mm.
Never?
Mm-mm.
How weird is that? What? Your mom and dad never took you trick or treating?
Well, you were busy
Well,
training.
she was in Japan, when you were little.
For 2, I would go to fall harvest or pumpkin harvest night at the church. That's what we did. And there was a fat guy that would put on he was the great pumpkin, and he would put on green tights, and he was at grandma's funeral. Do you remember I said to you, oh my God, that's the great pumpkin. When he kind of looks like the great pumpkin,
Which is
even
weird to
out
say at
of
a
the
funeral,
suit.
by the way.
I think I introduced him to you as the great pumpkin. He's a hero of mine. So was my kindergarten teacher, but that didn't turn out well.
So your Halloweens were more like that, like Charlie Brown's Halloween, where it was a great pumpkin and you sat in the pumpkin patch and no one went trick or treating.
Yeah, right. I don't think
That's
I
one of my
ever
favorite episodes of Charlie Brown, by the way.
Yeah, still.
I got a Snickers. I got apple. I got a rock. Like, by the way,
went with you with
but
your
how
kids.
fucked up was it for Charlie Brown that parents were like, "Fuck this kid," and he gave him like he even when we went trick or treating, he got a rock. No one ever addressed how shitty. Like, who was Charlie Brown that the neighbors were like, "This fucking kid."
Yeah, there's always that kid though.
Yeah,
there's always, every neighborhood's got
we were
that
supposed
kid.
to feel bad for Charlie Brown, but I wouldn't like that kid. If the neighbor, I'd give him a rock too. If he was such a douchebag, I mean, I guess Peanuts was written through the eyes of Charlie Brown, but if we'd have written it through Linus and everything, that Charlie Brown's just an asshole.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's through the eyes of him. It's what he took it as.
That's possible, right? Because Lucy took the ball from him all the time. Everybody was always fucking with him.
This is his imagination of what really happened. It could have been my pet rock. It was the 70s. It could have been like the top tier
I
gift.
I just got that. I love Charlie Brown. I had every Peanuts book collection, every single one, read it all the time. Because I guess I identify with Charlie Brown because I got rocks too. And you know me, I'm an asshole. So I get that Charlie Brown was an asshole. I think we can just call it out.
Well, you got stoned. It wasn't year-round rocks.
And again, Highlander drops in a rock stone. Boom. Let's go. Back to Mike Johnson.
So Mike Johnson turned in his financial disclosure, and now everyone, of course, is digging into everything that he's ever done, dating all the way back to 2016. He
didn't become
has never reported having a savings or checking account in his name, his spouse's name, or his kid's name. His latest filing, which covers 2022, he also doesn't list a single asset.
What?
He makes more than $200,000 a year in addition to his wife's salary. But their experts are saying it's unlikely that he doesn't have bank accounts or assets. It's that there is a valuation threshold, and he must not meet that threshold, which means he lives paycheck to paycheck.
Is he a church himself? Is he a religion himself?
There you go.
Exempt?
Do you know he's only been in Congress since 2017? How do we have the Speaker of the fucking House?
Wow, no,
like 6 years into the he doesn't. You don't even know where the bathrooms are. All of them.
Yeah.
You don't even know. And he's already been through one insurrection that he helped plan. How the fuck did they elect this guy Speaker? That's
His
crazy.
Household income puts him in the top 12% of earners in the U.S. So it would be extraordinarily rare for a member of Congress at that income level to not have a qualifying bank account. The threshold is $1,000.
Something's wrong. Something's weird because he was an attorney before this, and he had enough money to run for Congress. That means you have a lot of money
And no assets.
And
his wife had a salary from 2 different employers. So he says no bank account, no form of savings, no retirement, and no assets.
I don't want this guy third in line for
Seriously.
presidency. Okay, let's say that's true. Do you want that? That's like having my son at 15 running shit. You don't have a bank account, bro? You can't be Speaker of the House.
The people are saying Daily Beast has kind of dug into this, Vanity Fair as well. They're saying that this obviously raises questions about his personal financial well-being.
Is he hiding money in like
debt? Or
it sounds
Monaco
like he's
or
hiding
something?
money. He was an attorney before this, right? Yeah, so
This
he
is
had to.
new. This
you
just
have to
came
make.
out
You have
today.
to make money. So so people, let me ask you something. The children have bank accounts. You're telling me that a guy who's now third in the line, so Biden, VP, him. You're telling me that guy has no bank accounts and no assets. That's a drug dealer. That's a cartel member.
Yeah, everything's in cash.
I'm sorry, what? Cash or everything's in someone else's name?
And prayers.
Why would you do that? Why that doesn't make any sense.
And this is the party of the
And you have
fiscally
to
conservative.
report anything in your wife's name or your kid's name.
How is this legal?
So so let's go the other way then. Let's say this is 100% legit, and you need to have $1,000 in a savings or checking account to have to report it. If he doesn't, that means he is so shitty with money that he can't handle anything, and he's still the House of Representatives, which is budgeting. We're going to put that guy who's got no assets and no bank account in charge of passing budgeting bills.
So now we really can't track who's giving him donations.
Right. Right. How did he get elected if he had less than $1,000? How did he get elected? Man, I got to tell you, every time, what is it about this group of Republicans, this chapter in history, this little season we have had since since it kind of goes back to Newt Gingrich. What the fuck happened to, there used to be, Eisenhower was a responsible Republican, even Reagan to a point, but Reagan started all this flipping. When did we get that it's just psychos? I think it comes back down to 2016, 2012? 2012 was Citizens United. The second everybody realized it was a grift, that all you had to do was get in, and drug companies, gas companies. Do you know how much money look how much he gets from gas and oil. Look at how much money this dude gets from gas and oil. It's crazy.
You're right.
Once it
free-for-all.
became money, the con men were like, I'm going to run for Congress.
Yep.
George Santos, perfect example. Boebert. Boebert didn't even have GED. Green, only reason she ran is because nobody was running against her in that district.
Yeah.
She moved to that district to run. Then you got Gates, who's just a pillow-fisted daddy's boy. And then you got, when did Congress become a grift? I guess it always has been. I guess if you go back in history, just listen to Rachel Maddow long enough, you realize, Congress has always been a shit show. But Jesus,
yeah.
Most of his major donors come from oil and gas, according
Keeps
to
denying climate
Open
change, by the way.
Secrets. people, oh yeah, he is a climate change denier. Gas and Oil has donated over $330,000 since he first ran.
Since he ran. So what about before he ran? Can we look up who his donors were? Because if you have no money in the bank, first of all,
that would be
which also
from
means
the time he first ran.
Which also means if you have no money in the bank and you're a lawyer, that means you're a shitty lawyer too. Like how is it possible he has no assets and no record of making money? Here's what would happen. If I had no record of making money, if I told our government, no, I don't make money, I would be arrested.
You'd be audited.
I'd be audited instantly and arrested. Yeah, arrested. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's funny. So what these people keep forgetting, all these narcissistic, egomaniacal psychopaths that are not here to help the country. They didn't get the job to try to change things. They got it to grift the system. It's funny when they get to that their greed for power, what they want. The second they get it, though, the lights go whoop. Like if Trump. By the way, Trump, had he not done for president, he could have just he could have just been grifting. He'd still be on the Forbes list. No one would have gone after him. No one would have looked into his shit. He would have just gamed the system.
He would not be sitting in New York court today while his dumb son testifies.
Mm-hmm.
So Junior's whole, this was the Letitia James civil fraud case where there have already been findings of fraud, but Junior testifies today. I think Eric's tomorrow, Ivanka's next week. And his thing today, he's gone from the cocky, we know everything. His whole defense is, I don't understand any of that stuff that I signed. Oh, I didn't know when I signed saying that all of the information I had provided was accurate. I didn't know what that meant. I just went to Wharton. They didn't teach us that. And
he said he was a top of Wharton's a business school.
He blamed Mazars for all of the overvaluation.
I don't know how to fix a radio. I just went to MIT. I don't know how to fix a radio. I don't know how to do a computer. What's a computer? MIT never taught me about that. What the fuck is he talking about? Today he said, "Leave my kids alone." I'm sorry, what?
He tweeted truth.
Hunter Biden said, "Pardon me."
Yeah, really.
I didn't even think about that. Wait a minute. Leave my kids alone. What's going on? That's really funny. That's really a good point. Nice job.
Look at you. Who's a smart boy?
I'm mad because I didn't think about it.
We can cut it. Let's cut this and we'll...
I'll say it. I'll say it, yeah. Hey, what about Hunter Biden? Hey, put that in. Don't be really... Well, how sucky would that be if I'm that psycho?
It looks awkward.
By the way, I've known... So there was a lot of TV shows when I was on, and that I would actually heard about when I was doing Titus, and there's certain executive producers that sit in the writer's room and break the story out with the guys, but the writers go write the scripts in their name, and they go, no, give me the script. And their name goes on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that happens all the time.
Yeah, really fucked up.
I never let that happen with Titus. I was like, nah. If you guys wrote it, we would all break it out as a team.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, Trump wasn't there today because he's traveling to Texas because he has a campaign event at an offshore oil and gas drilling company in Houston.
Of course. How do you have 91 felonies and you're also holding rallies?
Flying on your private plane.
Yeah, they didn't even restrict his travel. He gets to go anywhere and everywhere. So here's the weird problem we have with Trump right now is that because and people have started to really talk about it. He's an ex-president, so we never thought in the history of America we would elect a psychopath like this who would try to overthrow the government, who would literally try to steal election. We never thought that. We thought, America, we'd already kind of, we were cocky enough to think that we all stood for good, right and wrong, and understood the rule of law.
We thought we had the safeguards in place.
Right.
We clearly don't.
No, because we didn't bet on someone having absolutely zero moral character at all.
Yeah.
He truthed, leave my children alone, Ingaron, not Judge Ingaron. You are a disgrace to the legal profession.
Everybody's a disgrace.
Would you say that to the guy who is 100% responsible for determining your damages in your case?
No.
Once my lawyer screwed up and made it a judge trial, not a jury trial, and that's the judge, I wouldn't be talking smack about him, probably.
But
I'd bring him cookies.
But right. By the way, I love Girl Scout cookies. Samoas.
Oh.
Yeah. And they're like, dismissed. Case dismissed.
I could be flipped for some Samoas.
Brought me some Samoas.
Costco's got some Girl Scout Thin Mint bites, balls. They are pellets of joy and heaven.
Yeah.
in a giant Costco-sized bag.
Girl Scout brand? They're actual Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's but they've made them balls,
Like BBs.
so they're
Or like-
crunchy
like
and they've got
marbles.
the mint
They're the
and
Boy
they're
Scouts.
coated in chocolate, but you don't feel like I ate.
Sandwich.
Did it get weird?
No, yes, it got
Just
very
making
weird.
just making it weirder. I was trying to
Yes,
make it
okay.
go. All right.
Sandwich.
Yeah, talking about Girl Scouts.
You got to stop.
You're talking about
He
Girl
led
Scouts.
us down a weird road. And then I'm getting pulled by the rickshaw. I'm like, hey, where are we on this road?
You should both be ashamed.
I am kind of. I kind of am.
Trump also talked smack about Bill Barr. Did you read that?
Yeah, that's going to be a big one because Bill Barr is going to testify, and Bill Barr, so is
Can't
Meadows.
do that. He can't. He's already under a gag order in 2 cases. He can't talk about Barr, but he is anyway.
Again, let's go back to what I was saying. He knows that they are not going to throw an ex-president to prison. They're not going to. Now, what they could do is they could lock him down at Mar-a-Lago. They could say you cannot leave the grounds of your own place. They could do that, but that's going to have to be enforced. And how do you enforce it to a guy who doesn't give a fuck?
He needs to go to jail.
He needs to go to jail. Agreed.
So Barr clapped back and said that Trump lacks. He said his verbal skills are limited. Now he just tosses things off like his verbal skills are limited. He said if you get him away from very, 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 the adjectives, they're unfamiliar
it's a
to
rap
him.
battle.
Yeah, they spill out. He goes too far. He's not disciplined when it comes to speaking. He just went right to the heart of it.
Get away from very, 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 and good and bad.
His verbal skills are
very,
limited.
very, very bad.
Not good. Very not good. That's my favorite.
That's their hero. How is that guy the hero? He can't even speak.
Because he speaks 4th grade, they do.
But he went to Wharton, though, at the business school, but he doesn't understand business.
Yeah, that's money. He just his
and he filed
family
bankruptcy
got. That's
6
one of
times.
those. What do they call them? Legacy. His fucking legacy
Nepotism?
trust fund nepotism.
Yeah,
he didn't get it in all his fucking merits.
No, his dad. People keep forgetting this. Every time I hear one of these dumb followers go, he's rich, man. He's billionaire. No, he's not. First of all, it's been proven that he's not now. Okay. Second of all, he got handed $400 million when his dad died. As a matter of fact, he took it. The rest of his family, they fuck with the will. So his sister was Mary Trump, a cousin, sister, was
his niece.
His niece was supposed to get some money.
Yeah,
and the will was changed after when his dad died. So she didn't get anything. So he got $400 million
and lost
went bankrupt 6 times. 6 times he's lost it all. But now he's to that point where he's borrowed so much money now, they have to they need to get their money back somehow. Mm-hmm. So he's continuing to make payments, so they keep loaning him money. And so he's upside down. He claimed the Mar-a-Lago's worth $1 billion. And then the assessor came in and said it's worth $18 million.
Couldn't he just go with Mike Johnson? I don't have a bank account.
Yeah.
No checking.
Mike Johnson doesn't have a bank account or any assets.
Where's Melania?
Did they think that was the move? Did they think that would make us go, oh, okay. Okay, good. He should be speaker.
Got it.
Wouldn't we think, well, okay, if that's true, then you're a loser. You've done nothing, or you don't have any money.
Isn't that like the bare minimum to apply for anything? Like, to get a car, or like a house.
You can't get a car, but you can be 3rd in line for the presidency of the United States.
There you go.
Yes.
I think we need to go through and make some new rules. I think the Constitution.
Yeah, I think it's
guys.
right.
We need to do another draft of the Constitution.
Well, I've said this before, but when we went to Scotland, so many taxi drivers' sticking point about Trump was, how can he run your country if he's gone bankrupt?
Yeah,
that's a conflict of interest.
The funny thing is, the first time
they would just start there, and we're like, oh yeah, we're way past that.
Yeah, we've been saying
many
that.
Things
We were saying that. Remember when he was running? I was saying that. I go 6-time bankrupt, porn star screwing, pillow fisted daddy's boy. This is your hero.
I hate pillow fisted. I thought that was gone.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like it.
It's those men with soft hands that
like
you shake their hand. And you're like,
It's a little crochet pillow, though. It's not a big actual head pillow. It's tiny
Speaking
pillows.
of needing stronger hands and forearms, this episode brought to you by FitBod. Fitbod.
Fitbod, love it. I'm loving it. I'm still using it. Although I will say this.
Fitbod sounds like a superhero.
I will say this, that it's changed me a lot. It really has changed me.
Yep.
I was doing it. So I did 5 workouts last week. I did 4 Fitbod, then I went Taekwondo. So that's 5. And it made a big difference in my mental health. But here's the thing with Fitbod, guys, and I don't know why I get to do the commercial, because I guess I use it constantly. It's so great. You get to set up your own workouts, and they set up the one thing I hate the most about working out is, what do I do next? You ever go to the gym and you don't have a plan, and you're like, I'm doing chest today. So you just do chest and do flies.
The same exercises
it's the same shit
every
all the time.
time.
And then what happens is you're like, and I think that's part of the reason people lose their interest in
because you
working
plateau.
out.
You stop seeing improvements or progress, and it's boring. It's not fun.
So this thing has an AI thing. So it'll maybe set, like, even if I pick chest, let's say I do chest and buys. That's what I did the other day, chest and buys. And let's say I do that on Tuesdays every week. Every week it'll change it. Like I'm still doing chest and buys, but it gives me different exercises, which keeps me interested, which makes sure that my muscles. I was doing these reverse curls. What are they called? They're like called. Anyway, you have to you go up and then you flip them down, and it works the whole muscle, guys. I'll say it. I'm gonna say it. I've been using Fitbod. I think I'm a year in on November 20th.
Wow.
And it has changed everything about my body.
I've been forgetting.
I haven't even changed my eating. All it is when working out, and I'm still the same weight, but my muscle percentage is way up.
Yeah, so your metabolism's going to go up.
I was doing an ad for Fitbod in the green room of Tacoma Comedy Club. Awesome week, by the way. So much fun. Andrew Rivers was there.
Was our buddy Andrew Rivers.
Little Andy Rivers. And we ended up getting in a conversation about what you've been doing. And I found myself doing if you use this promo code, you get this percentage off, and it's less than one session with a trainer. You can do it several times a day for the whole year. I mean, it's like so insane that I think sometimes people are like, okay, settle down.
Again,
like,
we're not on your podcast right now.
Very excited.
Guys, on our podcast, if it doesn't work, we won't sell it.
Custom workouts based on your goals, based on your equipment. It means you have no excuses. You have an app. It's kind of like you've got your own video game, but you are the superhero in your video game, right? So,
well, you get there's a video. Like, let's say, sometimes they'll name them weird, and I'll be like, "What's that?"
No, they don't name them weird. You name them weird.
They'll name them unlike how I would name them.
Right.
And then I saw what is called a thruster. And I was going through the menu, and I'm like, that's not a thruster.
He calls hip bridges thrusters, but there actually is a thruster. But it's going to create some problems.
They're all thrusters.
I hit the video, and you can watch the video. Like, if there's something, if you're like your technique's weird, or like you pick. Sometimes I'll think I'm doing something, and I'm like, that feels weird. Why does that feel weird? I hit the video, and I go, oh, because I didn't.
Whatever you did 2 days ago has made you say ow, ow, ow when you get out of bed for the last 2 days. Yeah. It was a leg workout.
Yesterday, the leg workout I did, that was on the road. That was very painful. Because
you said your weight had increased.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. It tracks you. So, like, the thing is, like, you go one day, like, I don't curl 40s. I don't curl 40s. And go, and Fitbod's like, yeah, you curl 40s.
You're about to.
No. Yeah. If you don't curl 40s, you ain't going to curl 45s. Hey, Fitbod. Hey, I'm going to make you better than you want to be. I don't want to be this good.
So it's never been easier to get the results you've always wanted. Check out Fitbod. You get 25% off of your subscription at fitbod.me/Titus. That's fitbod.me/Titus. And that's what I was talking about. 25% off. It ends up being like around $60
and I'm
for the whole year.
For the year, let's say I had three a day. So 4 day. I'm trying to get to 4 day all the time now. 4 a week all the time. I've done 140. It tracks how many I've done this year since I signed up for this one. 140 workouts, 150 workouts. Now you take
cool.
that. That's 50 cents a workout. If that for to have a trainer that runs me through exactly what I need.
Yep.
That you can't beat it.
I
guys.
love that too. So fitbod.me/Titus. About Peloton, like when I hit 100 workouts on Peloton, I got a T-shirt in the mail with the 100 on the sleeve.
Automatically?
Like,
wow!
Yeah, it just came. I was like, yeah, and you're tracking me.
Yeah,
I gotta get my electrical tape and cover up that camera too.
We were in Tacoma. Great shows, by the way. 5 great shows. And Andrew Rivers came down, did a set, smoked it. I've never seen you. She crossed another plateau, a whole other level of funny. By the way, this Thursday, Thursday night, she's going to be at Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego. Let's put this up tomorrow morning.
I'll put it up tonight.
Yeah, put it up tonight's good.
Yeah.
The audio. And then...
don't say anything inappropriate so he doesn't have to cut a bunch.
Yeah. Well, I think we're past that.
Oh,
yeah. This is already,
I think the whole Girl Scout thing, we're done. We're not ready. I think this is halfway through is the bad time to say that.
Good point.
You wait.
Thursday night, I'm doing my whole show, Beauty for Ashes. And then Friday and Saturday, we'll be together. Mic Drop Comedy Club. The best food ever. I've actually been thinking about
probably the
food.
best. One of the best designed comedy clubs I've ever seen too. Really
so cool. And the people that own it and run it are awesome. It's just a fun weekend. So Thursday night, come see me and you can sit in the back with him and be my dance mom. And then Friday and Saturday, come see both of us. And then we have a couple weeks off, except for the Salvation Army Kettle Kickoff fundraiser.
So, Salvation Army Kettle Kickoff on November 9th. People, if you're in LA, go see it. It's myself, the Love You Mom Shiro, and the amazing Billy Gardell.
And Michaela DeEtt.
Yeah, you guys seen her on AGT?
She's on this season, finalist or semifinalist on AGT with the... What's the name of the choir?
It's a choir of homeless people. I don't know the name of it, but they're awesome. But she's going to
sing.
So
we loved them. We saw this episode, and then we were at this fundraiser last Saturday or the Saturday before, Go Campaign, and they performed, and we were like, oh my gosh, it's them, because we loved them. And then, of course, because I am my mother's daughter, I ended up out on the sidewalk in Hollywood for an hour talking to her. And
because there was a rave on Hollywood Boulevard, and there was the traffic was, I've never seen the traffic downtown yet. There was a 1 million person rave on Hollywood Boulevard.
An actual rave, yeah.
They couldn't get, there was a DJ out there, they couldn't get, that's why I found, they showed pictures, you should look at pictures of it.
Well, the best part was all the way the people looked walking by. That was fun.
Oh, man.
But is that why?
The freaks come out at night.
No.
Yeah.
It was just
come out. It was a giant, super famous DJ, and there was like, they said it was like 350,000 people that just blocked off Hollywood Boulevard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
You just quoted Houdini? Dude. I'm super
impressed.
Wait.
Super impressed. Oh, Scotty Pfeiffer, the guy that does Go Campaign, sent me a link to a story. I forget who it was that performed, and people were on light poles on Hollywood Boulevard. It was there was no street space, and I thought he just wanted me to see what I missed out on, and I didn't get it. I sent, because he was trying to explain to me why we had to wait an hour for our car.
Right.
I thought he was just like, hey Rich, check this out, this cool concert happened. Oh, I gotta go back. He probably thinks I'm an idiot.
It's not because of that.
Well,
you didn't know Marvel or the DC Universe, so idiots. You're in the realm of idiots.
Okay. So your buddy, Mike Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
he has now said that he will get money for Israel.
My buddy.
But
this is crazy.
So he stripped money for Ukraine and Taiwan from the $105 billion package that Biden requested. He left only the 14.3 that the administration wants to send to Israel. But he also then imposed a condition on the Israel money. Biden must agree to cut that same amount, 14.3 billion, out of the money the IRS uses to chase down high-income tax cheats.
So
this sounds like a guy who has no bank account.
Yeah. Let's go through this whole thing, because there's like 17 different levels to what this guy's proposed.
Mm-hmm.
So his first bill that he puts out, he says, all right, we're going to give Israel money. Fine. Israel was attacked by Hamas. Israel's,
it's one of our allies.
A lot of people don't agree with what Israel's doing right now, but Israel gave everybody 2 weeks to get out. They said, we're coming in hard. We're killing every one of a Hamas because you guys, basically, guys, you have to remember this. I want to just deal with this quick. Whenever people go, Israel's going crazy on Gaza, you have to remember, if Mexico attacked Coachella and killed 300 of our citizens and cut their heads off, then shot up babies, and then we went into Mexico, whomping and wailing, do you think we'd have an issue with that?
Whomping and wailing.
We sure didn't have a problem going and killing 100,000 in Iraq.
Blinken testified yesterday, and he said something to that effect. Just one of the families that Hamas first went into the kibbutz and broke into their home, and they gouged the father's eye out, cut the mother's breast off, chopped off the little boy's fingers, and raped or something, the little girl. And he was saying that was all before they executed them. So we're not dealing with,
we're not dealing
reasonable.
With people, we're not dealing with freedom fighters.
And, it's like I said last week, right? Like, it's impossible to watch because we now have social media. We now have news.
The videos are brutal.
But the videos of them in Gaza are brutal. And CNN is panning through a preemie hospital wing saying they're all going to die because we're not getting aid into Gaza, and that's Israel's fault. And so it's heart-wrenching. You can't see so many women and children, civilians have died, and it's impossible. So people are very angry at Israel now. Howbeit, you have to remember.
At one point, it's schoolyard rules.
You have to remember who started it.
At one point.
But B, what people are really missing right now is that if it's not Israel's fault that those people are dying, it's Hamas's fault because they have embedded themselves in their homes, buildings, hospitals, and schools. If Hamas didn't want all those civilians to die, they should step away from the civilians
and fight the Israeli army.
Fight the army.
Yep.
Army to army.
People forget that.
Chosen fighters.
Hamas
to chosen fighters.
Israel's been saying for 2 weeks, get out of Gaza. We're going to let you exit out the south, get out of Gaza. Hamas won't let them leave. So now you've got Hamas embedded himself in a hospital, like one of their things, a hospital. They were in a refugee camp. They had an underground base in a refugee camp. And people are like, Israel's crazy. I'm like, no, Israel has warned everybody, get out. These guys have assassinated brutally. There was a woman, they found, and her mother let the video be shown.
Brutal.
Very, very beautiful 16, 17-year-old girl, Asian Israeli, was caught and raped repeatedly. And Hamas, they have this video of her in the back of laying naked, dead in the back of a pickup truck with Hamas doing guns like this. And I watched the video. I just went, how the fuck? Because the Israelis aren't celebrating. The Israelis are getting rid of Hamas. They don't want this anymore. Israel had peace treaties with Egypt and Jordan, and they were working on Saudi Arabia. Israel wants peace. Israel doesn't want this shit anymore. People keep forgetting Israel. The day Israel was made a state, the next day 5 Arab countries invaded them. Yeah. So at one point, I have to go. I think. Listen, if this happened to America, we would be fucking shit up.
To add to Syria's bombed them.
We can prove we have recent years where we've just fucked shit up. Afghanistan, Iraq.
Speaking of Mexico, and to add to the complexity of fighting Hamas, they've got networks of tunnels.
Yeah.
That they're coming in and out. They're hiding. They've got supplies underground
into Israel and back
for themselves. Yeah.
So now, how do you? How can you go in? Man, what a fucking mess.
If you started something and then the country retaliates and you then refuse to come out of hiding from behind civilian people, it's still on you.
Right, that's on you. So that's our stand.
And the other thing to think about, we don't live in this kind of life.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Yeah, exactly. Syria's now bombed them, and it's like, World War III stuff or World War II, as Trump would say. But,
going to start World War II.
Even just being Jewish and not living there, this is really a radical thing for Jewish people in the United States even. So my aunt and uncle are Jewish, long story. But I was on the phone with them day before yesterday, and my aunt is like, she's beside herself. And she said, I don't know what to do. She said, I'm scared to go out. Her friend's kid is Jewish and goes to Cornell, where this whole anti-Semitic attack just happened. And so anti-Semitism is on the rise. There's threats. There are little fringe groups and things like that rising up on social media and stuff. And she's afraid. She's afraid for her son. She's afraid for herself and my uncle. I mean, it's like, I've never heard her like that. And it's something that I don't have to think about, right? Yeah. She was saying how glad she was that we were speaking out about it because she said so many people won't. She has a lot of friends that are just like, oh, no, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to get involved, It's the fly. Were you going to kill it with that love tap? This episode brought to you by AG1.
You don't want to smash it into the...
I want to finish this Mike Johnson thing. Not yet. I want to get through this. So here's what's weird about the way Mike Johnson presented this bill. He said, all right, we'll give aid to Israel. Fine. Republicans are pretty much pro-Israel. It's fine. I think everybody, and Democrats and Republicans, pro-Israel. Then he says, we're not going to give money to help defend Taiwan. Well, China said they're going to go after Taiwan. Taiwan is one of the biggest suppliers of our computer chips right now until these factories get built that Biden is signing thing. So here's what I don't fucking understand. The Republicans bitch and moan all the time that Biden's part of China. Biden's helping China, which he hasn't. He's shut them down. He actually said that if any of our high-tech companies give any aid to China, any kind of tech, they get fined. Why would you want to cut aid to Taiwan? Like, what are you getting that you would cut aid to Taiwan?
Because he's bowing to the Hateful Eight or whatever they're called.
So we got that. But that's pro-China. If you're going to cut aid to Taiwan, you're pro-China then.
Taiwan.
Yeah. So then you're pro-China then. So that being said, then you say, we're not going to help Ukraine. So if you don't want to help Ukraine, which needs it desperately, you're pro-Russia. So the Republicans are pro-China, pro-Russia, and they want to cut back. The reason the IRS got reformed is because there's like $663 billion in uncollected taxes from millionaires and billionaires.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's us. We're going to get busted. We're going to have to follow the rules. All we're saying is the IRS needs enough. People say, oh, the IRS is good. The IRS, they're not going after you, guy who makes $100,000. They're not. They're going after the guy who makes $4 million,
no,
$5 million.
But they politicize that to get people scared and wound up about the bill that Biden passed funding the IRS.
Right, trust me, they already have. If you work for a company, they get your taxes. They take it out of your check. You're good. You're done.
After wealthy,
they're going after people that
1%.
Make $100 million that are gaming the system. And here's the go: $163 billion. Imagine that into healthcare in our country. Mm-hmm. Imagine that into education in our country. Yeah. That's how you build a strong country. So the reason you're a billionaire and the reason you're a millionaire is because you live in America and you have the opportunity. That opportunity costs. That's what I've had to face. I get to tell jokes for a living and I make really good money and I have to pay my taxes, which we just got yesterday. And I remember going, but then I had to think, all right. We got some tax breaks on these things and we followed the rules and we still have to pay this much in taxes.
And the policy, there's proof that it's working. They've already started collecting.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So you want to stop the income. You want to let millionaires. This is the Republican Party. You're pro-China. You're pro-Russia. And you actually want to make sure that the richest people in the country don't pay their fair share. How the fuck do you keep voting for these people? Pro-China, pro-Russia, and they're
pro-cheating.
And pro-cheating for billionaires.
Mm-hmm. Pro-grifting.
We do this podcast every week, and I'm so frustrated at the point when are you going to start to see that these people aren't helping you?
Women have to give birth to a rapist baby.
Yep, there you go.
Pro-rapist.
Pro-rape.
Pro-incest. Women would have to give children, would have to give birth to their father or uncle's child.
Pro-school shooting.
Yes.
They're definitely pro.
Yes. Sure.
This guy, Mike Johnson, said after the shooting last week, he said, we just live in tough times. And he said, what did he say? Something about, he blamed, you got to look what he said about the gun shooting, because it's insane. When he said it, I went, that's the thing. These guys have got to this place where it's so normal to spin this thing, to twist yourself into a knot, to say that, and he's saying it has nothing to do with guns. Nothing to do with guns. It's mental illness. We have problems in our country. And someone pointed out that I was reading recently that, England and Japan and France, everyone has mental illness, and mental illness doesn't kill a whole lot of people there.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's not the mental illness. It's the mental illness guy holding the gun.
Why is that their boilerplate fucking response?
Because
and it keeps getting repeated.
Because they get millions and millions. By the way, I will tell you this: if you laid it out, most of the people that vote Republican they want their guns. They think that the government is going to take you over, and if the government is going to take you over, and I was thinking about this week. Okay, so let's say there's a deep state. Do we agree? Let's all agree there's a deep state. So the deep state that Biden is currently running has vaccinated 260 million people. the deep state that Biden's running has actually had 4.9% growth last quarter. The deep state that Biden's running has added 12 million jobs, has brought manufacturing back to America, started the CHIPS Act. We have infrastructure, the freeway. They just finished the freeway, the 101. That wasn't happening under Trump. So
it's happening everywhere across the country.
He's actually made it so prescription drug prices can now compete on an open market.
Yep.
They can cap them, and we have the right to negotiate for drugs with different companies now.
So I hope we have a deep state.
So my question is, if that's the deep state, I'm voting deep state.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of drug companies and not needing to take so many, AG1. This episode brought to you by
one of the best supplements we've ever had.
I love, not only did I replace my multivitamin that I was taking every day, 2 pills a day, with AG1. I love that one little scoop in a little bit of water and shaken up. Also has prebiotics, probiotics. It's got
postbiotics,
digestive enzymes. No, there's no. Well, that would be postbiotics. Magnesium. It's got B vitamins. It's got vitamin C and zinc for your immune system going into cold, flu, COVID, RSV season. I again was talking to Andrew Rivers about this, who is a touring comic,
right?
Who sells merch at every show.
And you meet a lot of people who have a lot of people, who are covered in virus and disease.
I said, "Are you still taking AG1?" And he goes, "Oh, hell yeah." He goes, "I think that's why I don't get sick." He said he's been taking it for I think 3 years now.
Yep.
And he doesn't get sick, which is kind of amazing. So we have a lot of friends and family that have started using this as well. I notice energy for sure. I've started using it right before I work out. I feel more clear-headed. I haven't been sick. I haven't gotten a cold or flu or anything yet.
You know, I think it's an honest. Here's what's an honest product about it. The guy who invented. I say this all the time because this is the hook for me. You know, every product has to have a hook. The guy that invented it didn't do it to invent a company. He did it because he had gut problems and he needed to figure out. So he spent all this time until he finally felt better. Yeah. And that's what came out with this. So he proved it worked before it became AG1. That's what I like about it.
When do you take it? If I don't put it in the smoothie?
Usually at night. Should I take it in the morning? Because I usually just grab it. I'm absent-minded, so I just grab a glass and do a thing and then water and then go. That's it. I used to do it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, but now because I don't like to take pre-workout because I don't like jittery workout stuff, I take this before I go ride the Peloton or whatever I'm doing, lift weights. It's great stuff.
And I notice a difference. It's pretty crazy. And hair, skin, and nails too. I notice a difference. It's like you even said your hair is kind of growing out of control.
My hair's nuts.
It's growing so fast. So AG1 is the supplement that we trust to provide the support our body needs daily. And that's why they've been our partner for so long, because it actually works. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1, get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2. It's a dropper bottle and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/Titus. That's drinkag1.com/Titus. Check it out.
Speaking of pharmaceuticals and drugs and healthcare, we need to talk about this. I don't know if this is just a headline, but we've been talking about Citizens United and money in politics for forever. And of all people, to put a bill forward to undo it.
Josh Hawley?
Josh motherfucking Hawley?
That's the story I have open on my computer, which is hilarious. I'm so confused.
Yes.
To undo Citizens United.
Kill it.
Well, so he signed a bill.
What's the angle?
Exactly.
Aimed at limiting corporate money, bankrolling high-powered outside groups. Mitch McConnell held a lunch today and very bluntly warned all the Republican senators that they should not sign on to that bill because he told them many of them won their seats thanks to the powerful super PAC that McConnell has long controlled.
So he just
warned them they better not.
He just admitted that you would have lost because without this corporate money. So guys, do you get that? It's just a money grift. The whole fucking thing is a money grift.
Senate Leadership Fund that buys really expensive ad buys when the races are tight. battleground
So
Senate races.
McCall, by the way, guys, if you, what the fuck is going on, Josh Hawley?
How dare you? You're a Republican.
How do you think some little skinny fuck like you is going to even get in here without us money making you look good on these commercials? My God.
Well, Rondo.
I got in there. Look at what I look like. No one vote for this.
Hawley's new bill is called Ending Corporate Influence on Elections Act. It's aimed at revising.
Props to Josh Hawley.
Reversing the 2010 Citizens United decision that loosened campaign finance laws. McConnell even came out and said Josh Hawley would not have won his race if not for the Senate leadership.
Josh Hawley. People got to remember, Josh Hawley was the dude who basically got everybody fired up about January 6th.
Yes.
Yeah. So, who's running against Josh Hawley?
That's why I'm very confused.
Who's
I'm like,
running
what is
against-
going on?
Who's running against
What's he
Josh
gonna replace
Hawley?
it with?
Doesn't he still have 3 more years though?
Yeah, but what? Josh Hawley's not the guy unless he had an epiphany. Josh Hawley's not the guy to do a bipartisan. Because I know
What's the catch here?
Because I know Democrats across the board would be like, "Fuck yeah, let's get this money." Because you know what happens then? It's what I said, guys. If we get money out of politics and you can't just donate as much as you want because a corporation is a person, what ends up happening is the grifters go away. The con men, there's still going to be some of them, but they have to work. Yeah, the drifters and con men disappear. And what happens is you get people that literally want to serve the country.
Yes.
They want to do their time in the country for help the country and move on. When you've got guys like Santos who understand that the second he makes that 194, he can also make 19 million by selling his fucking vote, then that's when you get dickheads like that in Boebert. If you can actually get this at why, what's the bill?
He said, I think it's wrong as an original matter. I think it's warping our politics, and I see no reason for conservatives to defend it. It's wrong as a matter of the original meaning of the Constitution, and it's bad for our elections and our voters. I think on principle, we all should be concerned.
Somebody's outspending
something
to get him out. Is that what it is?
Who's running? Is one of the Koch brothers running against Hawley?
McConnell actually made a list of all of the lawmakers who won because of his group.
That means they shouldn't be there.
So thanks for the proof that we should stop
we shouldn't
this.
be there. They shouldn't be in.
Thank you, McConnell, for the proof that this shouldn't happen ever. Wow. I love that that's his argument.
2018,
hey, no, we need this shit because we would have lost.
Yeah.
In 2018, so 2018, so he would be up in 2024. Hawley benefited from more than $20 million from McConnell's group. So McConnell runs the Senate Leadership Fund. He gets people elected. He is a Sith Lord, man. Wow.
So wait. So I just got something. Since he's up in 2024, right? He's up this next election cycle.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is Hawley needs to do something. He knows that he fucking knows that none of these senators are going to vote for this. He knows this will never pass. You got to remember, if Mitch McConnell's worth $26 million, he wasn't. You have to understand that this isn't just a let's make it better thing. This is going to take these guys' money away. So by Hawley puts this forward, he can always claim, I tried to get it out. And he's going to run on that in 24.
Well, Hawley, after the whole Hitler, thing from January 6th,
Hitler-esque,
his own local newspaper came out against him saying, don't ever vote for him again. So like a right-wing conservative newspaper. And so he had a lot of whatever it's called.
Blowback.
Yeah, I was going to say splashback, callback, clapback, flatback, back fat. I don't know. I was like, what was it?
Blowback,
fallback. I was like, damn it, blowback.
You're going through all the Mission Impossible movies.
Even from his party in that state.
Yeah.
And it was very clearly decided that he wasn't going to win again. So maybe
it's a cynical play to actually have something to say I'm bipartisan and I want to make the system better. Vote for me.
But the problem is it's risky because if he's up for election and now he's pissed off McConnell, who said he wouldn't have won without that 20 million anyway.
But here's the problem. If they've already announced that McConnell had a meeting and said, don't do this, fuck, this guy's diabolical. Okay. So he puts his bill forward that says we want to get money out of politics. Okay. He says, we're going to put it on the floor. We're going to get it out here. Okay. Here's what happens. He does it. All these Republicans vote against it. Well, he's now fucked every single one of them. they can't even bring this to the floor, because if they vote against it, it tells them that they want that Citizens United money.
Yes.
So Hawley, because the Democrats would be like, fuck yeah, let's do this. Yeah. But the Republicans won't, and he screws every single one of them. How come every move that the Republicans seem to make since Trump seems to hurt them? Like having this guy, Mike Johnson, in the speakership is going to hurt them. He's already put up the craziest bill. The first thing was like nuts.
Yeah.
Like, wait, we're gonna let Taiwan. We're gonna cut Taiwan loose. We're gonna not help Ukraine to help Russia. And you're gonna what?
Defund the IRS?
What? Like, it's the dumbest shit. And so now we've got this guy. Hawley's diabolical. He is a young Sith Lord. That's my guess anyway.
Speaking of Congress. This episode brought to you by ButcherBox.
Yeah, just meat that doesn't
bags
move.
Of meat.
Just bags of meat. Just meat bags. Except ButcherBox is way better than Congress.
Yeah, it tastes better for sure. It is really good tasting, quality products. It's 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken. The pork is raised crate-free. The seafood is wild-caught, which we've already covered. Even your brother
was talking about the chicken. Your brother, when he was at the house, he was like, holy crap, this chicken is awesome.
My brother cooked up a lot of ButcherBox on the grill that day, and he did say it just doesn't have like that chemical taste. Yeah. So my dad, I've told you guys that I gave him this for his Father's Day, but it's the gift that keeps on giving. And holidays are coming up. And so I got a text yesterday because I had said, do you want to add a turkey? Because you can get your turkey from there as well. It's just all one-stop shop. And he actually texted me a little list yesterday of what he wanted in this box. So
his Christmas box.
Yeah, it's going to be right before Thanksgiving. So he wants steak, he wants shrimp, he wants salmon. I forget. I got to go and see and change it, because you can change it every week. You can, every order, you can put in what you want. You can drag and drop out of like an insanely vast list of different cuts of meat, or they have already curated boxes for you and you can pick your size and everything. So what did he tell me? Steak, salmon, shrimp, and bacon. He's like, I got a list in my text. So the bacon is also nitrate free, also tastes really
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
We've never defrosted something from ButcherBox, cooked it up and been like, it's always awesome.
Holiday meals, holiday time is coming up, and this is easier. You don't have to go. I will say, getting a turkey the last few years since COVID has been kind of a pain in the ass. And do you remember the first year, how impossible it was to find? So this
stores
just
were empty.
Sort of takes the extra out of it. And if you have family staying for Thanksgiving or Christmas, you can get bacon for breakfast. You can get sausage for breakfast. They've got like things like chicken nuggets now already. So it just helps, I think, during planning for holiday season. I always make my mom made these, they had a name, I don't know, but we were little, so we called them meat pockets. And it's like this flaky pastry dough, but it's got this sausage, hamburger, rosemary, tarragon, savory.
We should put Rachel and Sharon's recipes up on the website
situation
for Christmas.
Inside, and you dip them in hot pepper jelly, and it is like stupid. So I'm getting hamburger and sausage from ButcherBox. So the holiday season is made better with ButcherBox. For a limited time, they're offering our listeners a turkey, like we just said, for free in your first box, and $20 off your first order. Sign up today at butcherbox.com/Titus. Use promo code Titus to get this deal, a free turkey and $20 off your first order.
They're like those mob bosses from the 70s, handing out free turkeys.
Hey, by the way, come in.
Very generous. I'll give you a free turkey.
Now, when it comes to voting, I want to point something out. So Mike Johnson also said that he believes that gay people, gay sex should be outlawed. That nobody should have any rights. They shouldn't be able to get married. He goes, then we let everybody get married, because then people are going to be marrying their pets. And as I said in the Armageddon update, I would marry this guy. I love this guy.
His hair is crazy.
I love this guy.
He also was on a conversion therapy website for a while, but I guess that got scrubbed too.
Wait, he was on it? Because there's been rumors that he's actually running it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he wasn't.
No, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. So he wants to take rights away from people, supports China, supports Russia, supports school shootings. And the funny thing is, because just call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is. If after all this, we've had 536 mass shootings, and as I tweeted out the other on Threads, I put something. I go, these good guys with guns need to get their shit together because they haven't stopped one.
Yeah,
not one. So you keep saying that. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is go, well, where the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Are they busy?
When's that going to work?
Can we have a meeting?
Yeah,
maybe?
seriously.
So maybe you guys can start showing up. There you go. Come on, good guys with guns.
I need a fun fact desperately. This has all been very depressing.
Are we done?
We got another one to do, baby.
One more thing. One more thing. One more thing, people. Do me a favor. Do a little research into who you're voting for. Take a second. Yeah. Don't just vote Democrat or Republican. Do a second. Get that ballot book. Read it, and then because some of the ballot stuff is written by the candidate. Go do 5 minutes of research before you vote.
OpenSecrets.org also will post who gets what contributions.
Because Menendez, that guy, gotta go. He's got a Democrat, gotta go.
That guy.
Dianne Feinstein, gotta go.
I don't think the Trump people even have computers.
She went.
This is the problem.
But that's true. That's true.
Or know how to read.
They're just sitting in their
Let's
trailer
watch the learning box
on their typewriters trying to figure out
the
why
learning box.
nothing comes up.
All right. And now it's time for Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders Fun Facts.
Yeah.
There you go. We finally got it. Took us 35 times.
Speaking of learning.
Speaking. We were.
We know the Earth spins at roughly 1,000 miles per hour. But did we know that the Earth revolves around the sun 67,000 miles an hour? That's how fast we're going.
So we're going 68,000 miles an hour.
No.
Right.
No.
67 plus
we're spinning
68.
and spinning.
Right.
Like a top.
That's why your stomach's always upset.
Yeah. You're so nauseous.
I think that's why you're always like, I just don't, something's wrong.
I asked the allergist yesterday. I said, why am I so nauseated? He said, because of that drip. And he goes, let me look inside. I go, in where? And he looked in my throat and he goes, oh yeah, you've got postnasal drip. And I said, how can you tell? Ready for the worst thing ever? Oh, it always leaves behind a stain.
What color is the stain?
That's what I was like. Well, you know your throat is probably like tie-dyed.
Yep.
So who are you laughing at?
Just because of the beard. That's why you're tie-dyed. Bikers.
November 9th. Oh, okay. November 2nd. I'm headlining Mic Drop San Diego.
Thursday.
3rd and 4th. He is. And I'll
Friday,
be
Saturday.
opening. The 9th. Thursday.
Come to the
El Portal Theater. You can go click through his website to get tickets. That's the easiest way to find them. And
all your money goes to help homeless.
You get to see 3 comedians plus Michaela sing, and she's insanely awesome. And it's a tax deductible ticket. So there you go.
And then I'm going to the drag races on the 11th.
Nice.
But don't.
He's
not performing.
Wear earplugs, sir. Wear like 25 earplugs.
That would be the hardest crowd ever. Just like, hey, how you guys feel? This gig is horrible. Pays well. Just keep going. There's a check at the end of this. Do you know how many gigs I've done doing that? There's a check at the end of this. Mm-hmm. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do me a favor. Do your research and keep screaming sanity. When you read these guys doing insane shit, start screaming sanity as loud as they scream insanity. For myself, the Livy Bombshell Ray. Groucho and the Highlander. Later.
Chaplain. Peace out.
There can be only one.
Dad, you forgot me again, Dad.
Aww.
And Chaplain. Bye, guys.
Oh, again.